Go. Well, hey.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Lisa. How are you doing this morning?
I am fabulous.
Wonderful.
It's
How was your
Monday.
weekend?
Really good, actually.
Yeah. I think I saw you part of the weekend.
Yes.
You and that handsome guy you're married
at
to.
that gala.
Yeah. So welcome back to the Be Encouraged Show with Frank and Lisa on Motivation Monday. We're so glad that you're here with us on this day as we infuse hope and encouragement into our community. And we... do I need to read that?
Yeah,
Is
we're
that why
going to
you
start
point?
there. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
We
I'll
haven't
start
changed
there.
the script on you yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No, but just start there.
Okay, all righty. Notice how compliant I am, right?
Joshua just came back to America. He has no idea what we're talking about.
Welcome back, my man. Yeah, Frank Sinclair and Lisa Sennett here. We are the dynamic team of business leadership experts and coaches who offer keynotes, emceeing, and facilitating interpersonal communication and leadership development to small and mid-sized businesses. We're based here in Colorado Springs, but our services are available to you throughout the U.S. and internationally. Why did I start there, Lisa? You got me thrown totally off.
Okay.
I guess what the heck are we doing? Now she's sending me back up. You know, this this thing is, we really do this professionally. I know. You may not think that, but we do. That's right. Every week. Today's episode is brought to you by our awesome sponsors. Have you heard of Joshua Geary and his company Crescio? If you haven't, why not? Because they offer pay what you can consultations to underprivileged entrepreneurs in Colorado Springs and beyond, and they teach people how to leverage ChatGPT for their business. Visit them at Crescio.com to learn more. And the great Christopher Roberts with Pro Media, Colorado's leading service for professional video and photo content with an emphasis on sales process video to convert your prospects into paying customers. What a novel idea. So check them out at ProMediaColorado.com.
Awesome. Now we get to introduce our amazing guests. Well, first of all, I'd like to introduce our panel host, Miss Veronica Belanger.
Very good.
Belanger.
Woo! So she is the founder of the Mompreneur Network, a networking group from the entrepreneur. After having 2 kids, she experienced all the trials motherhood mixed with being a professional brings. Finally, she created a space where being a mom and an entrepreneur are celebrated. Yay! Imagine that. That's phenomenal. And Miss Mindy Reichert
You got
is
it right.
in the house.
Reichert.
She is a beautiful wife and mother and sexual wellness educator with Pure Romance.
Oh my.
Yes.
Wait, this is going to be fun.
This is going to be a lot of fun. Did you bring any props?
Yeah.
Okay. Last but not least.
Samples in my car.
We have Miss, I'm red. Woo, I don't even have the band in here today, Joshua.
We haven't got started yet.
Okay, and Miss Siouxsie Przytulski, and she is the owner of Mindful Motivation and Wellness Coaching, mother of 2 teen girls, wife of a 23-year Special Forces veteran, and avid hiker.
There we go. Yeah, I'm the father of 3 girls.
Yeah.
So
God bless you.
yeah, I'm on the other.
I got 2.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of it. Yeah.
But then I have a teenage boy, and he's a whole nother story.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
that
it's
right?
different.
Oh my.
Yeah,
my.
I birthed 3 daughters, but I now have a son through marriage, and it is a trip.
Oh, you never birthed a son?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm
It seemed like I
I
thought I knew.
procreated out of my loins 3 daughters, Frank.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I think you
He's heard this before.
Let's get straight into sexual.
Yes. How do we do that?
When would you like me to chime in here, Lisa?
I obviously need some education. All right, so.
Or at least your daughters.
Oh my gosh.
Veronica Belanger. You said it
Belanger.
Belanger. Do people try to Americanize it and call you Belanger?
Yeah.
All
Actually,
the time.
my husband Americanizes it and says it Belanger, but his family, when we got married, had a little sit down with me and said, how do you pronounce our name the right way?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will pronounce it the right way.
Yeah.
So a lesson that you've never forgotten.
Never.
Yes. Well, we're so glad to have you here. As Lisa mentioned, we are ecstatic that you would bring two other beautiful young ladies into the studio with us that we can talk good stuff with, right? So tell us about Veronica.
Tell me about me.
Yes.
Mom of two, like you said. I started the Mompreneur Network after I used to have a business, VB Marketing Consulting. I was a social media consultant. And during the pandemic, I kind of, through no fault of mine, it was just the pandemic hit. And businesses just kind of, marketing's the first thing to go for some strange reason.
Coaching's
when
next.
you can't be in person. That doesn't make any sense. Like,
well, a lot of my
you
clients
would think they would need all the marketing.
Right. A lot of clients
We're not trying to make sense,
met.
Mindy.
We're not trying to make sense.
It was just the facts. It was like,
My business boomed.
Oh,
I had my best year ever during
She
the
was
pandemic.
number one in that company.
We were deemed an essential company in
Oh,
Ohio.
yes.
In Ohio.
100%.
Yeah, so our people didn't get cut out.
But let us get back to you, Mindy.
Sorry.
You can wrap all this up.
This is about Veronica.
She's anxious, isn't she? Look at
No,
her.
this is
Let me
all
get to
wrong.
my piece here.
No, unfortunately, marketing is not considered essential, which is kind of backwards when it comes to business.
Right.
This should be your number one priority. And when that happened, I was also kind of done with the whole struggle of professional and parent. I had my son who's with us here today. I had him May 2020, so smack in the middle of shutdown. Well, right at the end of shutdown, and getting new clients was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough. I mean, I'd be sitting there, and of course he just had to nurse when I was virtual. I don't there's no schedule I could put him on. Because he was like, that's funny, you're going to be talking. Like, he would wake up from a nap if he heard me on a virtual call to nurse. And I was like, dude, cut me a break. Still hasn't cut me a break. He's 3.
Oh, just wait.
I know.
How he is now, multiply that times 3 as 13.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me that.
It's a trick.
He's a sweet
Siouxsie
boy.
could tell you that.
Yes.
That's why I'm quiet and still.
Yes.
He has a strong personality.
Yes, he takes after mommy.
Yeah.
That's all me.
So that was the genesis of Mompreneur.
Yeah, so at that point I was just kind of like, you know what? I just don't get, who cares if that little hand creeps up over my mouth? Who cares? Yeah, I've got an infant nursing.
Right.
What does it matter to you?
Yeah.
And it mattered to a lot of people. Unfortunately, it mattered to a lot of people. I also have a 5-year-old now. She was 2.5 at the time, and she is a vibe. It's the best way to explain my daughter. She's got her own vibe. It is her show, and we are all experiencing it with her.
It's a way to live life.
Right? Exactly.
So she's stronger personality than he is.
No.
Different. Just
It is a
different.
different.
Oh, okay.
So she's a diva. She's
She's a girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
The best way to explain the two of them is she is all girl and he is all boy.
Yeah.
It's, he's gonna run himself
But
into
with the
the wall.
confusion in society today, does that make
Yes, it does.
I just thought I'd throw that in for free.
Yeah. Good job. Own that.
They very much are the stereotypical definitions of boy and girl. She's all glitz and glam. I mean, at 5, she doesn't walk out the house without lipstick on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just not the special red
At
lipstick.
5.
Oh, she wants red lipstick.
No, the special red.
No, not special red lipstick.
that
No.
I love that one, by the way.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But yeah, she
I think I'm on the
She,
wrong
uh,
show.
Stick it out like it's not done today.
You can just have this one.
They're cold.
Well, when I found out at 1 Million Cups Wednesday, she said she was going to be on the show. I was like, oh, this is going to be good.
It's a very women's focused panel today. Very women's focused.
Well, you know what? We have a much easier time here getting ladies to come on than we do guys.
Yeah.
Right? I think there's something that's more inherently transparent and vulnerable about women than men.
It's
right?
okay for us to be transparent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we're tired of
Society
not
makes it
being.
feel.
Yeah.
I think we're tired of not being in the forefront.
Right.
Forefront.
So we're like,
Oh.
so
Man,
we want to be.
Usually.
We want to
This is girl power today,
Girl
Frank.
power.
You better bring that 3-daughter power.
We gotta bring that energy, man. Come on, you got this. You got this.
You know, you're not the first 3 women to come on. So,
I'm sure.
you know, I have survived.
I mean, you still have 3 daughters.
Right? And I have 3
You
daughters,
survived that. You
right?
survived
Veronica.
And 6 granddaughters.
Oh my.
Okay, so the hand really affected people.
Oh,
and
it did. And then the 2.5-year-old singing
Behind
a ballad.
Yeah. And
And she
then,
did.
so what's interesting though is people loved when a cat would walk by or a
Yes.
dog would
Mhm.
show their snout.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But isn't that interesting? Like,
Yeah. It was
yeah.
like getting clients. I actually had somebody who got a referral for me for a potential client, but they wouldn't meet virtual. So she had to come over to watch my kids because getting a sitter for an hour is impossible,
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
especially mid-pandemic and post-pandemic. So she would watch the kids, and I flat out was in the meeting. I was like, look, I'm gonna be honest. My kids are at home with me. I've got an infant and I've got a 2-year-old. They might be joining in meetings.
Mhm.
I didn't get that client
Mhm.
because they didn't want the kids around.
Isn't that you
Or they
make
didn't
such?
feel
You
they
make,
were the priority.
Right.
Yeah. And she
it's-
makes such a good point, though. You know, your kitties can crawl right across your keyboard.
Yeah.
Your dog can jump up right on you,
Lick your
and
face.
and
Yeah.
and like, oh, how cute! Oh,
Yeah.
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Yes.
You know, but your kid comes up
Yeah.
and is
automatically you're unprofessional.
Yes.
You're not
Yeah.
dedicated. You're not focused.
Exactly.
And it's
Yeah.
like,
Your
my
priorities
dog
aren't-
needs to go
priorities
in and
aren't
out
straight.
more than my child needs to be changed.
right, right.
Yeah, you
So-
don't have your priorities in order. and,
Right.
You know, your
Yeah.
priorities.
I'm
are
sorry, my
wrong.
priorities are perfect. Right where they need to be.
Exactly.
Right.
And if you have a problem with that,
Yeah.
You're
Not
the
my
client- Not
problem.
the client for you.
yes, exactly.
So that's how Mompreneur was birthed. So
Yeah.
how did you do that? Did you give notice to your company, or what did that look like?
No. I was the owner of VB Marketing
It was
Consulting.
her company.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's your
No,
company.
that's
She gave
mine.
notice to herself.
I gave,
okay.
yes, I did. I gave formal notice.
Okay, and you were done.
And I said, you know what? And honestly, I had this idea that, you know what? Maybe I'll start this group and I'll pick VB Marketing back up.
Mhm.
But then I learned very fast. Starting a networking group is a full-time job.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you're out in front of that, it is full time.
Yeah.
I'm so I gotta get to Siouxsie, right? Because his name just trips me out. Not Siouxsie, but just the way you spell it.
Well,
It's
and then
just-
in addition, my last name on top of it.
yeah,
Yes.
you throw those together, but those
Yeah.
are great marketing tools having
Well,
a
you
name
have to
like
be able
that.
to read it first, you know, for it
Aw.
to make sense. I feel like I don't look like what it should look like when you see me.
Yes, true.
You know.
That's true. Tell us about you.
Oh, military brat myself, and then I married a military man.
Mm.
So that dictated my life for the most part of moving around and, you know, doing what I needed to do to support the family and hold the front down. So, 2 teenage daughters. Yes.
What branch is your husband?
He's Army. Was Army. He retired 2 years
retired.
ago.
Okay,
But
yeah.
he still does the same kind of work, so we're still living the
Contractor
same.
or
same kind of lifestyle still.
Yeah.
But I learned quickly I had to hold the fort down with myself first,
Yeah.
so that I could show up for my kids, because it was usually me by myself, and sometimes not great situations, you know. So that's kind of what helped me launch my business, was taking my story and then trying to help moms do that as well too. So that's
So your
really-
clientele is focused on moms as well.
overwhelmed moms, really. That
Overwhelmed. Oh.
well, because I feel
You
like
don't
we
find
all
any
kind
of them,
find-
do you?
What's that?
I
Why are you
picked
touching
the
me?
hardest. I picked the hardest target audience, the hardest niche to pick, because I mean, I see myself falling into it too, where we put everything else before ourselves, and then we're the last one. And really, we don't take care of ourselves, we can't show up for everybody else in the way that we ideally would want to, I would hope.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, you mentioned in that little piece, there was some, I want to dig a little bit if you don't mind. You don't
Go
mind if I
for it.
dig?
Go for
Okay,
it.
thank you. At least I asked for permission.
Yes, good job.
Proud of me?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Normally I don't. I just do it, right?
I appreciate it. Thank you. Should I be scared?
No scare. But people listening to this show, where we really help people is in the transparency. You said there were some hard things in there. Could you be a little more specific and talk about hard things?
Deployments to undisclosed locations. I went on vacation with my family. My family lives in Germany. I'm half German. So
Okay.
we were stationed in Germany. So with them, we went on vacation because you can't really, trying to say this with that out, not sounding horrible, you can't really count on your husband to be around a lot. So you end up doing things on
That's
your own.
just the truth.
It is, but it's just like, he's doing his work
That's
too.
no
and
deficit
respectable
on
work,
him. No, yeah.
So you just kind of do your thing. And so we went on vacation with my family and my girls, and we were in Italy, and my friend says, turn on the TV. And so you kind of like put two and two together. Oh, well, I guess my husband is now in Tunisia in the, I'm trying to think of what year it was. Was it 2013, 2012, when they took over the embassy, and he was there, and that's how I found out, because she couldn't tell me on the phone,
Right.
because you can't really talk about it. So it's those things, and not knowing what's going on, and media doesn't necessarily share the truth about things.
Or
He
the good
tells
stuff.
me what's going on, and versus when I watch on TV, and they say then don't watch TV. So you're kind of like in a hole. You don't get a lot of information, and you keep that straight face for your kids.
Right.
How old are your babies?
13 and 15.
13 and
So like
15.
25 and 20.
Yeah.
I've got two 13-year-olds. I feel like.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Girls, both girls?
No, the boy and the girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm sure as we come back to you and talk about that a little bit, that pain is really kind of what I see your purpose flowing from.
And I'm very passionate about it.
Very passionate.
I want to take what I have learned and share. I'm a big believer on learning from others. I do think you should make your own mistakes.
Yes.
However, at the same time, if I can, if I can learn from somebody else's mistake, and there was no mistakes made, but I just want to be able to share things so that we can get there faster, bounce back faster from the ebb and flow.
Well, I'm sure there was some mistakes made.
Well,
Last time I looked, you were a human.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's
Was
what
your
we
mom and
do.
dad in
Yes.
the military as well?
They were both in the military.
Oh, so
my
dual
mom
active duty.
came from Germany, and she joined the military at 18.
Wow.
Oh my.
And to get out of the house. And then my dad was also in the military too. So my mom when she got pregnant with me back then, you could get out of the military. So she did. So military family through and through.
Yeah.
And my
military
girls did.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you have to watch your mom go through the pain points that you had to go through as a wife, as a military spouse?
It was a little bit different as well. I was an only child, so in that way it was a little bit different. And he was in the Navy, so it was more like he would go on a 6-month deployment or cruise, and then turned into 8 months, and we didn't have contact like you do now. Like now, my husband, he was in Afghanistan when it all went down.
Yeah.
That was another time I really had to keep.
My.
But we were able to text back and forth. It was amazing. Whereas my dad was gone, it was like you drop off a letter and maybe you hear back when he makes it to a port. So she went through some tough times too.
Wow.
And it's a lonely, like what you described, it's a very lonely existence as a wife, as this military spouse. Because I'm sure men go through it too, but it's a very lonely time, and you feel so alone. You feel like there's nobody, you don't have anybody, you don't have a comrade, So what you do is amazing.
And I have to say, actually, we're special forces. We have a very tight-knit family.
Yes.
I have military family that is sometimes closer than family because we don't have family that live here.
Yes.
I do have a sister-in-law, but they are my family, and we've traveled together. We can only move to 3 places.
Yeah.
And somehow some of my closest ones have ended up here, and we still rely on each other, and they are my rock. And I will start crying because they are my rock.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know a lot of military families that that doesn't really exist, that family part of it.
No, it doesn't.
We're fortunate. That was a
Yeah.
moment in time.
Yeah.
And I share that with them all the time to say, hey, we got to appreciate this. I'm also about all of gratitude, so
Right.
we have to appreciate that. And
Yeah.
So
it's
you're
really
intentionally seeing these things that with your mindset, it really puts you in a place where you can really see the gratefulness, the
Yes.
gratitude, the things that matter so much, which makes you a fantastic teacher and facilitator of that as well, right?
Yes, thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
I really focus on
absolutely.
it and living in the moment. And like right now, I'm trying to like step back for a second and soak all of this in. This is just a great opportunity to be here and be here with you guys. And,
Well, thank you. It's a great opportunity having you.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Super excited.
Yes.
Now the fun.
I'm so glad you're to the left directly, Frank.
What do you want to know?
She sat appropriately.
What do you want to know?
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about you, man.
Yes.
That's what I want to know first.
So, my name is Mindy.
Mindy, not Mandy.
Correct.
Yeah,
all good.
make that correction.
No worries. I was Mindy Missy Becky my entire life because I have
Okay.
2 sisters. So, but yes, my name is Mindy. I have been married for, it'll be 26 years this month.
Yes.
I have a,
That's so awesome. Let me just bask in that a minute,
Yeah.
right?
It is.
You don't even look 26. How did you do that? What did you just marry out of the womb? Or?
it was an arranged marriage. No,
Not in the South.
I'm 47. So yeah, so we have 3 kids. We have a 23-year-old who is a teacher at a Starbase on the Peterson Space Force Base, and then we have a 21-year-old who's a student up in Greeley, and then a 19-year-old son who still lives with us, trying to figure out what he wants to be when he grows up.
19.
Exactly. So my husband was Air Force for 20 years, and he retired in 2012. And that's when my girls got heavily involved in different music organizations in the city. So I was heavily involved as a mom in all of that. So then
This city?
Yeah. So
Is this where you retired?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've been here 16 years.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So my oldest was in the Colorado Springs Youth Symphony Association, and my daughter, my middle one, was in the children's chorale. So she's the singer. The other oldest is a violist. So I was heavily involved in my kids. You know, my younger 2 were special needs. Like that's a thing. So when they graduated high school, you know, went off to college, did whatever, didn't really need mom as much anymore. And I'd been all I'd ever wanted to be, you know, and when somebody says, are you what you, when you were 5 years old, what you wanted to be when you grew up? Is that what you're doing? Absolutely. I wanted to be a wife and a mother. That's all I've ever wanted to be.
Aww.
So then when I wasn't needed in, as much in those capacities anymore, I was like, well, now what do I do? Who am I? What am I? You know? And then I found Pure Romance, and you know, and that's a whole other story how I got
Well,
started
we want
in that.
those stories. Forget
But,
about the rest of your family.
Yeah. But anyway,
teachers, come on.
so how much do you want to know?
I don't know. Tell us how one finds
So,
Pure Romance.
All right, so I met the gal that I signed up under. I met her completely by accident at exactly the right time in my life. I thought I was broken for 26 years. I just wasn't educated well on my anatomy and things like that. And I thought I was the only one who had this issue. So I was embarrassed to talk to anybody, even my doctor or whatever. You know, they're looking in your eyes and your ears like you don't want to be talking about other stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And so had my first Pure Romance party, and I learned that I wasn't broken, first of all. Hallelujah. And I wasn't the only one. 70% of women are like me. And so
Not you.
wanted to I'm sorry.
We are very good friends.
Goodness.
We're like friends.
Like that.
I don't know like that.
I was gonna say.
Don't say stuff
Michelle,
like that on the
I'm
air.
sorry I said anything. Forgive me, baby.
Did I just open a can of worms?
Oh my
we did.
God.
So anyway, so I just wanted to shout it from the rooftops. You know, I mean, Aladdin and Jasmine are riding on a magic carpet, seeing a whole new world over my life, and so I was like, oh, this is amazing.
What did your husband do?
About me wanting to do this?
Yeah.
So
like how did
it's really funny because my husband is actually very private, very private, very shy when it comes to this kind of stuff. He is my biggest cheerleader.
Is he?
He is my biggest. So, because I had tried other direct sales companies before, and it just didn't work out. And he was like, because I told him I wanted to try this, and I was just going to be a kidnapper. I just wanted the products.
Yeah.
You know, and then I started learning because the teaching and the stuff that they give us is amazing. And I was like, I need to share this. I can't keep this to myself.
Say amazing again.
So amazing. So I told him I wanted to do it, and he's like, "Are you sure? Because you've tried this before." And I'm like, "Yeah, but this one feels different." And here we are 5 years later.
Yeah.
You know,
and you're thriving with it.
and I just love it.
Yeah.
I want to be on a stage. I want to be talking to women, groups of women at retreats and couples, and I
see the keynoting in your future.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, you present incredibly well,
Thank you.
right? And so enthusiastically, and I can just see the inspiration for. Your husband was the biggest winner in all of this.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I think she's the biggest winner.
Oh, she's the biggest winner.
She is the biggest winner. He may reap benefits.
I mean, yeah.
Well, no, okay.
It's a partnership.
Yes, and there is
And a tax
thing,
write-off.
and there's things for men too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
and
the thing that I've found with men, this is why Frank says I this is my jam, is because I told him I would literally love to be like a sex therapist. If I could be one, I would be one, because both the body, mind, understanding, openness, all of that is so important. But with men, it's hard for them. They may identify that, oh, my girl needs some extra, something fun to do, but they may need something extra, right?
Well,
and you guys have that.
A lot of times you find with men as well is, so for me, the education is huge. I'm all about the education. And what I've found is with men, a lot of the time, so women, especially after childbirth, after an illness, after a hysterectomy, whatever, our bodies change, they're different, so we have to relearn everything. They feel very left out. They want to be included. They want to be included in that journey and that learning and everything. They feel very left out. They also feel very responsible. Like, oh, she's not enjoying it, it's my fault.
Right.
No, it's not, sweetheart. Let's learn this together. Let's figure this out together. And that's the big thing for guys is, and yes, they also sometimes they want a little fun too, or they feel threatened or intimidated, like I'm not enough.
Yeah.
She needs, well, then that's okay. Like you are enough. You guys
Well,
gotta
thank
figure it
you.
out.
I'm glad you did. I'm stoked to know that I'm enough.
You are
Right.
enough. You're absolutely
Enough, Shell.
You are
Enough.
more than enough. You are the epitome of enough.
Well, it's like when you order, a banana split. Do you want the whipped cream on top and cherry on top? That's up to you.
Everybody's different.
Yeah, accentuates the
Yes,
experience.
everybody's different, and everybody experiences things differently. Everybody feels things differently. Not every woman is the same. Our anatomy isn't the same, and so there's no like you were saying at the Wimbledon Cups meeting, there's no round hole in a square. It's just not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you, Mindy. We appreciate it. If we don't come back to you, it's not personal.
I mean, it might be
making you uncomfortable, Frank.
Don't you see me turning red?
You're good. Nope.
Oh, I'm too old to be uncomfortable, right? So,
Miss Veronica, we gotta go to Veronica real quick.
that's where we're going to.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah, I am
Okay.
ready. Go ahead
All
if you
right.
want to tell us.
Well,
ask us something.
What is the number one pain point this year in your business that you've had to overcome?
Number one pain point is attendance from guests. Trying to get the Mompreneur name, Mompreneur Network name out there, and people showing up. We've had a lot of ghosts, which is really rough.
Can you contribute anything to that? I'm
There's so one major reason, point blank, is their family. One major reason is my kids are sick. my kids have a field trip, they have the day off. And so my overcome with that is kids are invited. Obviously, if the kids are sick, stay home. Right? But like they've got the day off or anything like that, kids are homeschooled, bring them. We meet at the library.
Yeah. Is it 21C?
We do both 21C and East. Yep.
Okay, yeah, 21C and East, Mompreneur Network. We'll get some times and those type things. And I think Siouxsie kind of brought up some pain points for her. Well, tell us specifically what's been tough for you this year, and how are you handling it?
Well, it's interesting that Veronica said people aren't coming because of family, and that's the hardest part is we give everything to everybody else, and that's the biggest pain point for me is helping women realize that they need to focus on themselves and that it's okay. It's not selfish.
No.
You know, it's necessary.
It's quite the opposite.
It's absolutely necessary. It's essential.
Yes.
And so it's hard just in that way to say it's okay. And it's really just slowing down. We live such a fast-paced lifestyle. And saying yes to everything.
You know, I'd also interject. It's also okay to take care of yourself and have your kids see it.
Yes, because you're a role model. You're a role model, and that's what I want to show my kids.
Why we invite kids of all ages. I mean, if you've got a teenage child who's got their own lemonade stand who wants to talk about selling lemonade, bring them to a meeting. They're learning public speaking. They're learning how to stand up for themselves. They're learning how to sell. They're watching mom do it.
Absolutely.
I know I came to one of your meetings over at Space.
Third Space. You came to one of our events.
Third
Space. Their 1-year anniversary.
Because guys can come. Just so you guys know, they welcome us too, right?
Dads want that mompreneur lifestyle. Dads want to see the first steps. Dads want to see go to doctor's appointments. Dads want to be a part of kids' lives too. Absolutely. It's not just moms.
So you're open to dadpreneurs. So it's both. Okay.
But it's still a mompreneur generally, because that's really the focus of the group, I believe, right? You're right, but guys can come.
But there are a lot of stay-at-home dads. So if there was a stay-at-home dad and he did launch his own business, can he become a member and be a part of it?
Yeah.
He could. He could actually be a member.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I'd love feedback, because we have had a few gentlemen come and they kind of feel like, oh my gosh, if I apply for membership, I'm taking a spot from a mom who needs this. Not necessarily. I mean, dads want to be just as involved in their kids' lives as moms do. And so the whole premise of what we do is, I say, take everything you know about the professional world and just forget it, because it doesn't apply to just everyday life. So just forget it, and we're going to recreate it on your own terms.
Well, I'd love to have a conversation with you around it. Being a business coach, I would probably differ with you on some of those points. But holistic life.
You'd be surprised what I would say keep. You'd be surprised.
No, I wouldn't. Because I think I know you a little bit. So, but that comment makes it feel like there's some compartmentalizing going on. Right? This is my business life. This is my personal life, and never should the two meet.
Right.
That's a very dangerous place to be. It really is, because we use too much of ourselves in our business lives for that to be true. But anyway, I love it.
That's why there's a good balance. To have,
there's a great balance to have. It is, and you bring that with your bad self.
She brings that, and then like other members like Siouxsie and that help moms figure things out, because like one of the things that part of Veronica's story is, when you are a new mom or a young mom, people are like, oh no, you've got enough on your plate, and they take things away, and they take away your right to decide for yourself.
Bam.
And that's not cool.
Right.
So people like Siouxsie and help moms navigate all of that, and the way that they
advocate for themselves
find it is with a group like this. And once you come, you're hooked. Like it's just getting them in the door, because once they're in the door,
you feel that community and that support, and surrounding yourself with like-minded people. I think it's really important, and people who support you and encourage you to step outside of your comfort zone and do some things. for your business.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes.
What is your challenge this year? You know, how are you overcoming that?
My challenges this year, just, because I finally decided the path I want my business to take, where I want to be more on the education side, and I want to be more on the public speaking side and all of that, and all that is involved in getting that set up.
Mm-hmm.
But I still need to make money.
Yes,
So I still need
you
to do the parties, and I still need to follow up with my past clients, and I
Mhm.
do have very devoted past clients, but I need to stay, I need to be on top of that. Like, it's not their responsibility, it's mine. So just finding that time and that balance, and not driving myself insane with all this stuff.
Yeah, that part where you begin to work on your business more than you're working in your business,
Yes,
right?
correct.
That's a separator that really creates the motion of movement that we all need for our businesses to really blossom, right? Boy, this is such a great conversation today. I'm so excited about meeting you, right? You might have to give me some personal consultation, but
I do sit.
But I'm down
I do
with
sit
that.
with couples.
Yeah,
and,
you do?
Yeah.
Okay, not
Have
just with
private
you.
coaching.
My wife got this.
I will totally.
It's my wife.
I will totally sit with you for a coaching session as well. I'm nothing against that at all.
Right on, Mindy. I just love your personality. It seems so well suited for the work that you do and what you're infusing into community. Thank you for that.
Well, I have to say one more thing about Mindy. So what she hasn't shared is that you're really introverted.
Yes.
You are?
And
I'm very
yes,
shy.
she's very introverted. And for her to take this by the helm and run this business has been amazing. And you are like a butterfly just blooming now. It's amazing. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. That is incredible. Yeah, who would know?
Of all the things that stuck, this is the one that's intimate, and I'm kind of good at it.
Kinda,
Very
ma'am.
good at it.
Okay, she's good at it. So,
any questions? Text away.
So do this for us, and we're going to ask you two as well because we're winding down the time here. Tell people something encouraging for our community today. Something hopeful for our community, and then give them some contact information for you.
Oh my goodness, can I be last?
Okay.
I gotta think about it.
You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
I really just want to say that you can do it. Just small steps. You know, the fastest way to get where you want is actually small steps. So one thing at a time, one step at a time. It's really hard. We get overwhelmed with all the things that we think we have to do. And if you just start and also get support and accountability. Accountability goes a long way. A long way. I have one client, she calls me her Jiminy Cricket because she's you're on my shoulder, and I worked out this morning because I knew you were going to ask me about that, and it just works. But one step at a time, and you can do it.
And how do they reach you in your business?
Mindful Motivation and Wellness at gmail.com. But I'm also, my website is, I'm in the middle of using also another person from the Mompreneur Network. She has helped me rebrand. Her name is Kate McCumber, yes, with a nurture branding company. But so my website's slowly coming about, and that is mindfulmotivationandwellness.com. But I'm on Instagram as well too. Same thing, Mindful Motivation and Wellness.
Indeed, reach out to Siouxsie. Yes, your turn.
Me?
Yeah, give us something inspiring and motivating.
Something inspiring and motivating. I would say you don't have to do it alone. I mean, a lot of people in this world think that when they're climbing that mountain, it's got to be them climbing the mountain. You can bring a friend.
That's right.
It's okay.
It's more fun.
It's more fun.
Yeah.
It's more fun in all aspects of life, not just physically climbing a mountain. But you can do it. You can do it with help, and it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to have support around you. That's what.
Yeah, and how do they reach you?
Networking Mompreneur, and they can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, and that is also my website. So Networking Mompreneur. So it's like entrepreneur, but take the entre off and just put mom
There we go.
Is that .com or .net?
.com.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All righty. And Mindy?
So something, what did you say?
Something encouraging or hopeful for people.
Okay. So, a relationship is a partnership and communication is huge. And if you're having struggles or problems in your current relationships, even not necessarily intimate, communication, just communicate with people. That's the big thing.
How to find you.
And how to find me.
Yeah.
Honestly, so on Facebook, Mindy Reichert, and really my phone number is honestly the best way. Should I?
Yeah,
my phone
go
number?
for
Okay.
it. If you want to do that.
Yeah, I don't care. So that's the best way to reach me.
Yeah.
Honestly, 719-205-5935.
There we go.
Awesome. Thank you, Mindy.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Mindy Reichert and Reichert. Sorry.
That's why I usually intro people. We're getting them there. Reichert.
And Veronica.
No way.
Say her last name.
Oh, Belanger.
Belanger and
Przytulski.
and Susan.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
We come with the whole alphabet today.
Yeah.
Every German.
Awesome.
French.
Yes.
Okay, well, we are wrapping up the show now. And just as a reminder to everyone, if you are wanting to reach more people with your business, we are reaching up to 40,000 a week and growing. So please visit our new website at beencouraged.net to become a sponsor or to request an on-site visit at your place of business or in front of a coffee shop if you don't have one, and get your business name out there to our growing audience.
Indeed. And with all that said, once again, guests, thank you so much for being with us today. Yeah, this is the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa. We'll be back with show 2 in just a little bit.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts. I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged Show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged Show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged Show with Frank and Lisa is now
3, 2.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Be Encouraged Show with Frank and Lisa. This is our noon show. We appreciate you guys listening in. And we have some amazing guests today, Frank.
Yes, we do have some incredible guests.
Yeah.
You giving me the opportunity to introduce these folks?
These are all easy American names. It's all you.
Okay.
Our last show was very intricate.
Not American.
Detailed. No.
Yeah.
Classic.
We had foreigners that spoke English.
Yes. But this is easy.
This
Go
is
for
easy.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a black Southern guy, so I will not apologize for that. It's all right. So phonics was not our thing, right? So first of all, Melanie Hexter.
Yes.
Melanie and her husband Matthew, the handsome guy that's sitting beside her, launched Lemon Lodge after their kids told them a wine bar is boring. And that's true. It is. And your thing is anything but boring. So, right? Melanie is the owner of Lemon Lodge. Matthew, he's the founder and vintner at Evergood Adventure Wines, where he makes wines from lemons, not grapes. Think refreshing adult lemonades, and they are. Look at my face. Available in liquor stores, bars, restaurants, and ski resorts across Colorado, and now shipping to 41 states. Isn't that awesome indeed? And I'm so proud to have been on the ride with you from the beginning of this, and it's just such an incredible thing. Thank you. And to my left is Chad Harrison.
Yes, Chad.
Chad is gifted.
Yes.
Now I can introduce the next person. Chad is a gifted healer, educator, and transformation guide whose work has helped countless individuals overcome physical, mental, and emotional pain. Chad, welcome. We're glad that you're here. And my dear friend Andrew Peterson, Executive Director of Pikes Peak Hospice Foundation, where I sit on the Board of Trustees there as well, full disclosure. The only nonprofit hospice in the region, and might add, the very first hospice in the region, starting in 1980. It provides essential services for people regardless of their ability to pay. Right. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. So my first question actually goes to you, Andrew. What does that mean, up to their ability to pay?
So a lot of people, and we all know that hospice is a Medicare provided service, yes.
Yes, yes.
It's still
I got
Monday.
you.
It's still Monday.
Yeah.
It's still Monday. It's a Medicare provided service, but also people can get insurance as well for it. But there are many people who don't have access to Medicaid, Medicare, private insurance, or private pay, or anything like that.
Right.
We will still serve them regardless of that ability to pay. So one of the things that the foundation raises funds for is charity care. And we have, for both hospice as well as palliative care, it's close to $400,000 to $500,000 worth that we provide out there for patients that don't have access to it. And I used to work for a homeless organization here in town, and so when I was talking about this position, actually, they said that we actually serve the homeless, that they've gone to serve patients under a bridge.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's incredible.
So it's a wonderful service that we provide,
Yes.
and to know that we are the only nonprofit that will go and do that. It's like, very that's where I want to be. That's where we should be as people.
Yeah.
And how big is your team?
We have 93 people in hospice in our particular organization, and we have about 100. I think I saw 197 patients in our care right now, and most of them are at home or in assisted living facilities. We have 8 beds at Penrose downtown on Nevada.
Only hospice they have that.
The only hospice to have an inpatient unit like that. So that's one of our differentiators, that we know that we could actually serve people. If they need respite care, We can bring them to our service, our inpatient unit there, and the family could go do what they need to do that day or however long it takes.
Awesome. So Andrew, I'm driving Frank crazy because he jumps in on the human aspect immediately.
Yeah.
And I'm really passionate about the senior industry though. So I just asked that one question. So we need to pause you on that. But I am curious. Are you from Colorado?
Originally I'm from LA, but moved to Seattle when I was in junior high. Moved out here 15 years ago. Spent the better part of 35 years up in the Northwest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So your family's from the West Coast or?
Yeah,
where
West
they-
Coast.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, we forgive you.
Yeah.
You had to be from somewhere.
I had to be from
Oh
somewhere.
my goodness.
And the best view is in my rear view mirror. So
Yeah. It's like Lubbock, Texas, right?
There you go.
Happiness is
You're not
Lubbock,
wrong.
Texas, in my rear view mirror, baby. Yeah, I love it when we hit these points, Lisa, that you're passionate about and it comes out and stuff, so I'm good.
Okay, all
Good,
right.
so you know
All right,
I am. Yeah. Melanie, you were our panel host
All right.
with the most.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
That shirt rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, how can I get one of those? Don't you want Frank advertising you around town?
Yeah.
I gotta get some more.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
we
want
sold
one
our
like that.
bunch. We sold
You
the
got it.
Not like that, like that. Even though that's
Okay,
cool.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's easy to get you one. Yeah.
Part of my time on my show, I spend begging.
Okay, all right,
So,
fair enough. He's
I'm
begging
not
for
too proud
wine,
to
he wants
beg.
flannel
Yeah.
shirt.
So, Melanie, tell us, look, I know yours and Matthew's story.
Right.
Tell us, give us a little snippet about who Melanie Hexter is
Okay.
and how you guys get together.
Yeah. All right. Well, I grew up in Indianapolis. After I graduated from college, I worked at Ohio State, where he was on the fast track to
let me say
graduate
this,
in
Rick.
6 years, right?
Oh,
I graduated in 5.
Okay, fine.
Nice.
no, no,
Right. But it was interesting. A lot of his friends from high school have been friends of mine from college. So we got married in Ohio in 1990. Now have 6 kids.
So that's 33 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's incredible. But,
Yay!
Yeah.
How did you guys do that? Like, what's your number one go-to?
Secret of
Yeah.
keeping him around.
Yeah.
One of the things we've learned is when we disagree on something, rather than sitting like this and talking about it, now we're adversaries.
Uh-huh.
If we sit either on the couch and face the problem together, or we drive in the car and then we're facing out, we do better. Because he's not the problem, something else is the problem.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my gosh,
A
I'm
free
implementing that
marriage.
today.
Here's seminar 101, how to fight fair.
Right, yeah.
I have been to a marriage seminar where they teach you to go knee to knee.
Oh, I think it's
They,
awful.
yeah.
No, so the best thing is just get in the car
Yeah.
and just drive up I-25 and down I-25.
Yeah.
You'll get it all solved. Because at some point you're gonna have to stop and get coffee or use the restroom or fill up for gas.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done.
Figure it out, man.
That's so cool.
Great.
That's great. Yeah.
I mean, that's a little thing. I'm sure we heard it at a marriage conference years ago, but that's been good for us because nothing's perfect.
No.
I'm not, he's not, situations aren't, our kids sure,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, so.
6 kids,
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, I know. And people that tell you that marriage is easy, one of the things that really makes me want to slap a human is when they walk up to me and say, you know what, we never disagree.
Yeah, we
We
never
never
argue.
argue. I'm going, you must sleep in different rooms
Yeah.
or maybe different houses,
Mhm.
right? Or something, because that doesn't even make sense. A good argument is not bad, as long as you don't say things you can't take back.
Right.
Right, or make it personal and those type things. Those are good things. I'm still trying to convince Michelle of that.
Oh.
She won't argue with me. I will say that on camera.
Oh,
Yeah,
she won't argue with
she
you?
won't argue.
Oh, that's why you like me so much. I'm so
You always
controversial.
are, right?
I always
You've
want
been
to come back.
my business wife stand-in here, right?
That's hilarious. We love you, Michelle.
We do. You too, John. Oh, you're married to her.
Yes. He's adjusting. We're 2 years in.
Yeah, Matthew, people are going to be, I think, astounded by the story so far. Evergood Adventure Wines, which is really morphed into Lemon Lodge as well. Tell her, why would anyone think of making wine with lemons?
Yeah.
No idea. I still wonder. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
so-
feed you lemons, right?
Yeah, exactly. Forget lemonade, man.
Make wine.
Exactly.
Make less Medicaid.
Spruce
Lemonade with a kick to it.
You think in 6 years we've never heard that line before?
That's a brand new one.
Every
Brand new
week.
one.
Yeah.
Every week.
There you
He
go.
thought he'd give you a tagline.
Right.
So tell us about that.
Yeah. So I grew up in Ohio, and August heat humidity is just nasty. So always drinking like a summer shandy, right, which is beer with lemonade.
Is that
Right.
what that is?
Yeah.
I've never had that.
Yeah.
Beer with grenadine is good too. I just thought
There
I'd
you
throw
go.
that in. It's a French thing.
So-
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm the type of kid who was really bored in school. So I was always getting in trouble, right? Always. And so when we got married, I told my wife, I said, you have the unique opportunity to steer me in productive ways, right? Direct me this way. So our very first Christmas, she got me a coffee roasting class. So I learned how to roast coffee. This was even before Starbucks.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
wow.
1990.
Before
it's
There were
trendy.
no
Yeah.
coffee
Yeah.
shops anywhere.
Yeah, so I learned how to do that.
Oh, and it made the house smell so good.
Oh, I
Yeah,
bet.
but it set off all the alarms, fire alarms.
So the
Yeah.
dogs and the babies, are crying,
Yeah.
and I'm like, garage, you're moving to the garage.
Yeah. So then I got bored of that. So then she bought me a Mr. Beer kit, and I learned how to make really bad beer. But I was intrigued because now all of a sudden high school chemistry made sense.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So I took a chemistry of brewing class at a local college. It was a senior level class.
Which again, this was before there were breweries anywhere.
You
Yeah.
predated everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
means you're old.
Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Make him feel better, Frank.
I'm older, so.
Yes, yeah, this is the be encouraged show.
Right? I'm like, what are you
just in
doing?
case you missed that.
You missed that memo this morning.
Yeah, so I started a brew club. We started getting together monthly, and somebody brought some fermented country time lemonade, and I was like, wow, you can do that? And they said, well, apparently you've never been in the military, because we can ferment anything, right? Just ask Mike Gerard, right, with 300 Days of Shine, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it birthed then, about 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So going with the idea birth,
yeah.
but did you say, wow, I'm onto something here? Let me expand this, because I met you at a Million Cups
Yeah, I did too. I remember
event
presenting.
Yeah.
when you presented
Yeah.
over at wherever that place
Warehouse was
No,
the
it
first
was
time,
before.
right?
No.
Was it?
No, actually,
The first time we presented
was here.
Yeah,
In fall of
In
2017.
Epicentral?
Yes.
Oh.
but then what's that place called where the
Catalyst
space
Campus.
inside? Catalyst
Oh,
Campus.
okay.
That's where I met you.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
But
yeah,
you did present also at the warehouse as
yeah.
well.
They
Yeah.
represented.
Yes.
Yeah, they,
Yeah.
they bring
Represented.
us
Okay.
back for like 1 year
Okay,
updates.
Yeah.
that's when I saw you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so you were there, and I was going, what?
What? Yeah. I worked in Fortune 500s, actually Fortune 100s. I just got really tired of that whole corporate culture.
You were working in the Fortune 100 space?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And just got tired of that, and then tried the nonprofit. That didn't work out for me, and so I just said, well, I might as well give this a go. And I don't know, it just stuck.
Well, and what happened was he'd make it, and we'd give away more than we'd drink. I mean,
I
it
know
wasn't
you were
like
giving
we
me
were,
some.
yeah. And everybody else said, I'd like to buy this for my daughter's, bridal shower. I want it for the family reunion or Thanksgiving. And we said, we're not a licensed bonded winery. We sell it to you. That's moonshine laws.
Yep.
That's federal offense.
Yes.
We can't sell it to you. So then it just took a convince. So we decided. We liquidated his retirement. We sold things in a storage unit. We did a round of fundraising that people call friends, family, and fools.
Yep.
And spent 20
My
months.
3 favorite people in the world.
Yes.
Friends, family, and
It's how you make money.
we need to do a crowdfunding
We-
like
yeah.
that.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Friends, families, and
This is
fun.
before there were GoFundMes, before there were, Kickstarters.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then it took about 18 to 20 months to become a licensed bonded winery. So it's a very regulated, very legislated space.
Yeah.
You don't just pivot to it tomorrow.
So what does that look like? Do you have lemons everywhere at home? Or what does that look like? I mean, how did you do this?
Yeah, well, so I don't squeeze lemons for a living. I make wine from lemons. So I get them pre-squeezed from California. They do it all for me. So I get the lemon juice. So there's something good in the rearview
I was envisioning like a whole nightmare of.
Yeah, so
I apologize.
we always tell people we are in the juice.
Okay, got you.
Very cool.
How long does it take to ferment?
All right, I'll give you a winery tour ticket before
Yeah,
when we
yeah,
leave.
okay.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
all these things will be answered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Really
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
That is so awesome.
How long?
Wait a minute. You're taking over my show.
Sorry.
You know, I know you're from California and we invited you on.
My communication's backwards. Sorry. Start the end.
It's just exciting what you do. But I have one more question for them. Who did your logo? That is the coolest logo.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, just a guy I met in the nonprofit space who does logos nationally. He's won a lot of national awards.
It's incredible.
You can see why.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
is
see
sweet.
that? That is sharp.
Yeah.
And he also did our lemon launch.
Yeah.
wine as well.
Indeed.
Cool.
So
Yeah. We'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Because you guys are
Power couple here.
incredibly interesting. So
Yeah.
much so that Andrew wants to take over the show.
Yeah.
What else do you ferment?
Well, there's a story for that, right? You want to hear what he tried during COVID.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
All right, so we're back in charge.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Chad, what's up?
How's it going?
Good, good. We're so glad to have you here. You sit in such a unique space. I visited it, and what you do and experienced it. Tell people about it.
Yeah, so we have 10 acres that's just over near Larkspur. We have a 30-foot yurt on our property that we
And
do.
tell them what that is.
So it's a round structure. It's native to Mongolian. It's kind of like a tent. That's like more of a permanent tent. So 706 square foot. It's great for retreats. We also use it as our office and our healing space. And so really what we do is we have access to a bunch of different tools that are really centered around frequency. So we know that everything is a waveform. Everything has a resonant frequency, right? When the opera singer hits that note, the wine glass shatters. We also know that the different organs of the body have healthy frequency that they're supposed to be at. So we can create that healthy frequency by just sending another frequency. Right, you have 50 and 60 hertz, and you send them at each other. You have 10 left over. So it's simple math, subtraction, right? So a lot of the things that we do. So there's music and sound therapy. We have a healing modality that my partner Madeline and I created that we've been working on for the past 5 years. And this stems from a traumatic event with a suicide that I witnessed of my friend. And I had 7 years of like anxiety, PTSD, depression, suicidal ideations myself. Here are the pills, right? And the pills weren't the answer for me. What was the answer was meditation. And so I found a meditation practice. I tried for 3 weeks, and I was like, this isn't working. And so I kind of tossed it to the side, right? Don't give up, people. And so then I tried again about 2 months later. That 30th day, the 10-minute meditation, 9 minutes in, I had a meditative state for the first time. And it changed everything. I was able to stop taking all the medications, cold turkey. And this is something like I studied pharmacology in college, so I was very familiar with all of that. With zero side effects, which is not the normal thing. Like the doctor that I had said, I've never had a patient get off of this before. So it's meditation is so incredibly powerful. And then that led me to, I had torn my fat pad in my right knee at sledding, as the Canadians call it, my Canadian buddies, snowmobiling. And so, they do an MRI, they're like, yeah, it's torn. They tried the cortisone, didn't work. Like, we weren't expecting it to work for your age category. Thanks, guys. Typically makes it worse. Awesome. So I just didn't believe that. And through higher guidance, I was led to a show that I then contacted the woman. She sent me to another woman who was using tuning forks to heal people. And I was like, okay, this is strange and interesting. Let's check it out. So I go out there, and it's a certification course. We're practicing on each other. I just met this woman 5 minutes before that. She takes a pendulum and goes, oh, right knee. I had not given her any information about any of my health, anything. But I was having 25 to 30 pain days at that time a month. It was an incredibly painful thing. And so she takes a tuning fork, and 15 minutes later, I literally just feel the pain leave. And it was gone for a whole year and a half. And it was gone long enough for my knee to actually heal itself.
Yes.
So
the body's amazing like
yeah.
that. Yes.
So I no longer have any pain in this knee. And this was the thing that propelled me. So like, I've got to share this with people, because really at the root of it, it's quantum. It's frequency. There's so much science actually behind it when you really look at it. And anything that I offer people, something I've tried myself and it works for me. Right. So it's so cool because we meet people where we at. We talk about it through the lens of frequency, which is a language that everybody speaks. Right. And so what our main focus is to teach people the tools. These are tools that I want kids to learn, how to manage emotions, how to understand that, like, hey, you know what, this external thing happened, and I don't have to create meaning around it if I don't want to. Because that's really, the whole piece that you were talking about earlier, the adversary thing, right? This is actually something that I just discovered in my own relationship in the last week. I have a dear friend who's been learning these tools, and she just looks at us and she says, when did you two make each other the enemy? And I was like, oh. That opened up a whole thing, and I'm like, I know the exact moment, and she could pinpoint the exact moment. We went back and talked about the anger, bitterness, resentment that had built up around that. All of a sudden, it was like when we were first dating again. It was that massively powerful, and that is exactly how powerful this work is. It's so simple, it's so easy. Really, it's so simple and easy, and massive shifts can happen in the mental, physical, and spiritual health space like that.
So Chad, you talked about wanting to help children. Do you have something that happened as a child that you had to overcome?
Yeah, so I have always been incredibly, how I would describe it as like empathic. So I had these emotions and different things. It's like, what is all of this? And I didn't realize that that's not the normal experience for people. And so, I just worked through, there's a lot of times it comes from childhood. Those childhood traumas are the initial things, but those things are typically built on ancestral traumas, generational traumas. So the DNA holds 16 generations of memory in it.
Oh my.
So, we are so much more connected to our ancestors than I think a lot of people realize. And I think a lot of ancient cultures understood that.
Yes.
And so, for me, it's about understanding that we all have this inner child, and that at some point in time there was some trauma or hurt. Even if it wasn't actually a trauma, it's all about the perception of it, right? Being left in the crib to cry. For some kids, that's not going to be anything. For some kids, though, that's going to be huge.
The end of the day for them. Indeed. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So we have a kind of a group of people in different spaces here at one time, which is cool, right? Yeah, because you're kind of beyond excited about your modality, aren't you?
I love it.
His energy's amazing.
Yeah. Andrew, take a little bit on a journey, because people think about hospice and palliative care, and they think about death, which normally isn't an exciting subject for most people, right?
Not the first thing you want to start a conversation.
Right. Yeah. So why are you in this space personally? What creates the passion for you to be in this particular space, and how can we debunk some of those things that people think about it?
Sure. Personally, both of my parents went through hospice, and very, I would say, almost similar experiences. My dad passed away in '97, and it was one of those things that we didn't know what hospice really was.
He was relatively young. Right?
He was.
26 years ago.
He was 67. So
my age.
Yeah.
Will I make it out of this room?
Oh, you will. One way or another, we'll all make it out of the room.
They make a gurney for that.
We got a
Either vertical or horizontal.
That's right. But he passed away, and just was one of those kind of experiences where we didn't really know what was going on. So when my mom passed away in 2013, I had a little bit more knowledge of it, but it wasn't still the hospice. Sadly, we did not go with Pikes Peak Hospice, and I wish we had. I think it was because of a doctor being on the board of another hospice. That's kind of how it ended up happening.
It works.
But they were very forceful in how they communicated with us, and not in a way that was helpful. So I wish I could do that back. So that's my personal journey with it, and so consequently when this opportunity came up, it was a great opportunity to be able to help share the positives of what hospice can bring. Yes. And we like to say that hospice is about living. It's about that patient and that family and caregiver to be able to live life to the fullest as much as they can together. And for that patient to have a really positive experience as they are going through a very difficult time. And for the family, not just during that time, but on the other side of it as well. So my passion for it is that we educate people and let them know that there are alternatives to what they're going through. And it's interesting when you get a patient who's on a whole bunch of medicines or whatever, and the hospice can come in and say, you really don't need all of these. We'll take care of you on just a few things here. And when they get off, suddenly they kind of rebound a lot of times. So they'll start feeling a lot better. And in fact, one of our other board members, he had an employee go through Pikes Peak Hospice and got well. That doesn't necessarily happen when you're in hospice. But at our event last spring, he was out golfing the day before. Wow. It was that kind of a thing. Yes. But he was on his way out. Yeah. And so that's
pharmaceuticals for you.
Right. But that's not something that necessarily happens all the time. But the hospice side of it is to help folks that are diagnosed with a terminal illness, and chances are that they have 6 months left, is what it is. Palliative care, on the other hand, is still to treat what it is they have, and to be able to kind of work with them in a life-limiting illness kind of thing. Yes.
Well, I would like to thank you all. You helped with my mom as well.
Thank you for sharing.
It was incredible.
And when did you lose your mom?
10 years ago.
10 years, 2013.
Yeah, that's
Same as your mom.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's hard to know what to say sometimes when somebody tells me that, but I will say I'm thankful that it was a positive experience in a very difficult time.
Right. And I love the service that you do to pour back into the family even after he or she passes.
Right.
That was a big deal for us.
We have the Center for Grief and Loss,
yes.
and we actually do 13 months when standard Medicare does 12 months of that kind of service. And the reason why we go 13 months is because that anniversary of that date is a big date.
Yes,
and for people that were caregivers or whatever to be able to get through that time, that could be a hard thing.
Yes. Well, even now, I kind of block out, I don't even know her death date, but it hits social, and I'm like, oh God, today is the day. Yeah. Because I purposely blocked it, but family, friends, everyone is out there on social about it. So every anniversary is hard. Sure. And it's like, man, it's a tough thing. But I love what you guys do. And your location's amazing too.
I'm going to share this with the staff so they can hear your words on that. Yeah. That's always an encouragement to me.
Yeah. You'll get the recording so you can you can hear her say that actually.
Yes.
So indeed. Wow. And I'm so proud to be a part of your board of trustees, and thank you guys for reaching out to me and giving me that opportunity as well. Coming back around, Melanie, you I think from what I see, you tell me if I'm wrong,
Okay, all right.
is that you seem to be more of the mouthpiece for this organization, right? It's a good thing,
That's
right? You speak
right.
very eloquently
Right.
to where you want to go, why you want to go there, and why people should engage this place. So speak to our audience around those three things.
Sure. Well, technically, I own Lemon Lodge, but it's Lemon Lodge Ski Bar, but it's really by default. Matthew's the brains and the engine behind it all, but legally, he can't hold a maker's license and a retail license.
Right.
So I had to.
And you're a woman-owned business, which
Well,
really
and
gives
I'm a
you some
female-owned
opportunity.
business,
Yeah.
which they're
Yes.
we'd love to tap into any of those. Yes, but you know, we were looking for opportunities. We survived COVID, you know, which ironically, alcohol was a necessary service, you know, essential. So, you know, we came out of that strong and talked about opening a retail location because Palmer Lake is this sleepy little town.
Yeah.
And it's really a manufacturing facility. And so we were on our anniversary a couple years ago, thought, wow, downtown's really vibrant again. People are out walking. Maybe we should consider downtown. And immediately our kids said, wine bars are boring. You know, so I became the mouthpiece for that story because we said at the dinner table, well, how would you make a wine bar not boring? And they said, well, you'd add this. And they pull up their phone and they said, Mom, you can't get the janky ski simulator that works like a grocery store conveyor belt with carpet on it. You got to get this one from Germany that the Olympians use. And that, you know, because that story happened around our dinner table, which has been my domain, raising our 6 kids.
Right.
And then I'm kind of thrust in the forefront as the owner now. But it's been fun.
Why do you use quotes when you say that?
What, as the owner?
Yes.
Right, just because I've been home with our kids for 30 years.
But own this.
Oh, when I own this, yes.
You gotta own
yes.
this.
Oh,
Right.
I do.
All right.
I'm the mouthpiece.
Oh, don't
Yeah.
worry, I make her own.
The bill's coming
It
my
doesn't
way.
look like you're owning it when you put it in quotes, right? So.
No, the bills, I go to the P.O. box to pick up the bills every week.
So you're really owning it,
Yeah,
aren't you?
Right. But
Yeah.
it's just a weird hybrid place where we brought a ski lodge from the mountains down into the city.
Yes.
And where people can just hang out, pray, eat and drink. There's chess and Connect Four and Scrabble. It's family centric. We're not the late night bar.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Tell
did
them
our
about
spot,
tell them about your. And she did the
I
machine.
am not a skier, for the record. I am a tubing family all the way.
And you were professionally dressed that day.
Yes, that was so funny. So we had our spotlight visit, and actually the other day we presented somewhere, and they asked us, "What's your favorite spotlight so far?" And I said, "The Lemon Lodge."
Lodge.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was so much fun, and thank goodness I was wearing pants that day, and yeah, it worked out. And they put these ski boots on me, and you do this whole simulator thing, this big old screen. It is a blast.
It's a blast.
Incredible.
It's a blast just watching it
Yes.
because black people don't ski.
And I earned a
Unless
cowbell
they're incredibly
and
wealthy.
I could not get him on the machine. I tried, right?
Only Frank can say that.
Don't ski, bungee jump, or jump out of a perfectly good running airplane.
And frankly, that's one reason why we want it downtown. We want to make it is an expensive, exclusive, inaccessible sport.
It is.
Right. And even if you're the wealthiest person from the Midwest, you still got to get to the mountains on the day it's snowing, right? And so we're trying to create a space that you can just show up and
We're in warmth.
in climate control.
Yes.
It's comfortable.
And your shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Next time I come, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, okay.
So what's been your biggest pain point this year that you've had to overcome?
Oh, that is like you're teeing it up for the home run. Here it comes. Woo! Opening. So the goal with Lemon Lodge was to open late February, early March as the ski season ended. And there's a certain governmental entity that held us in handcuffs for months.
Which shall not be named.
After month, after month, after month. Meanwhile, you're losing $15,000, $18,000 a month, and you can't do business.
Wow.
So you can't. The city, on the one hand, can't say we're pro small business, and then sit on things that are inconsequential or have already been approved, but we won't walk down the street and hand you the paperwork so that you can open your doors.
Wow.
And I'm gonna beat that drum till you're deaf and you're deaf, because now we hold that special paperwork, and we've started that process of being a voice for other business, because everybody we tell says, oh yeah, that reminds me, or my cousin had that, or the one down the street. So we are considering some pretty strong options to make changes in that process, because it's not just downtown businesses, it's anything in about a 2-county area that's affected by this particular unelected and ungoverned quasi-governmental entity that holds everybody captive, including residential homeowners that just want to add a deck or update their bathroom.
It sounds like my HOA.
That
That may be the entity.
unelected and ungoverned.
It's the same kind of-
It
yes,
just might be.
yes. Right.
Yeah.
So we almost
I have an HOA.
didn't
as
open
well.
because you run out of funds for that on-ramp.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Indeed.
And we're still suffering because of that.
because
So
of that.
we were handed the all-important paperwork September 30th.
You're kidding.
No.
After that amount of
That, that's
time?
last year, September 30th.
No,
right?
this just months, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And it's so that's my new, you know, we couldn't raise a stink while we were pending the paperwork,
Right,
because
right.
you don't want,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
So you gotta get that
Yeah.
paperwork
You
in
don't want a
hand.
gag order.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my. I'm so
but we're
glad.
not litigious people, we're not
Yeah.
vindictive, but
Yeah.
now we can do it on behalf of the next guy.
Yes,
That's right.
So
exactly.
now we feel the freedom, but we've got to recompense, we got to make up for a lot of money we lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6 months of cash flow.
Yeah,
Oh my.
and that's just representative of a greater problem. So
Yeah,
anyway,
you know,
yes.
people out there looking at us on film today, you know, this may not sound encouraging to you,
Yes.
the way it's framed,
Yeah.
but let me tell you, it cannot be more encouraging. Why? Because they may have suffered for many of you that are going to go through these same things. So us getting this word out, thank you, Melanie,
Yes.
and getting this word out today is incredibly important for our community. Those of you that are considering business, standalones and brick and mortar operations as well, give Melanie and Matthew a call and talk to
Absolutely.
them
We would
about
love
that.
to hear your similar stories, because that's part of what we're doing is beginning to talk to people about
Yes.
working together
Yeah.
to help the next guy.
Well, and I do want to say, I mean, some of our downtown groups like Downtown Partnership,
Yeah,
you know,
Susan.
the Chamber, all those
Business
are unbelievable.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, they are
Extremely helpful.
Thank you for
Right.
mentioning
Very
that.
good.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
talk about a great group.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I know the heads of most of those people,
Yes.
those organizations, and they do great
Yes.
work.
Wonderful.
But
So
just kind of,
supportive.
Yeah,
this
this
kind of
unnamed entity was
yes,
not. the
right,
same.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know who they are as well. So,
So, Andrew, how about you? What have you had to overcome this year?
So I started in August of last year,
Okay.
so kind of getting to know our donors actually is probably the biggest thing. My whole thing is I want to keep our current donors current and make sure that they have the information that they need, because they invested in our organization, and that's really important to me, that they know that their dollar is going to really go into a good thing.
Mhm.
So when after I started, one person left, and there's one other person that stayed. He's been with us for 13 years. His name is also Andy, so we're the Andys in our organization.
The
But
Andy
he-
twins,
yeah, that's right. But he knows the donors. It's one of those things. It's like I'm totally blessed to have him on staff.
Yes.
You know, I challenged him. I said, this donor system that we have is pretty archaic. Let's change it. That was kind of a big internal thing that we had to overcome, and we still have our glitches from time to time. But by and large, though, it's getting the word out to our constituencies and let them know that, hey, this is raising funds for this is again, I would not have thought selling hospice. Sorry, I did the air quotes again, but selling hospice. You know, who would have thought that was a thing?
Right.
But really, when I'm able to talk about some of the things that we're able to do, it's like this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You know? But it's getting that audience with people and having people on our trustees that can help open the doors, I think, is really kind of the big thing. But we moved events. You know, that we had an event that we did in September that we moved to May of this year, and September last year to May this year, and that was a big change and different style of event and everything like that. And but we increased our attendance by 2.5. By 2.5 or whatever percent, and it was
Times.
times. Yeah. It is Monday, right? So, but to be able to share what we do with people that don't know about us, that wouldn't even think about it, is really kind of a privilege, and you know, I don't want to lose that opportunity.
Don't we have Trees of Life this week?
Trees of Life is on November 11th, Saturday, November 11th at the Pioneers Museum downtown.
Yep.
And it goes from 5 to 6 o'clock. And, you know, the holidays can be a very difficult time for families to be able to kind of get through that, especially first time that somebody's lost somebody. So this event is for them, but it's for anybody that's lost anybody. So it's a very reverent event, I would call it. I don't want to say somber, but it's reverent because we revere those that have passed. And one of the things that we do is we read the names of those that have passed. You know, they will come and leave a list of people that they want to have read at this event, and we do that there. And then at the end of the ceremony, I shouldn't say service, ceremony, we end up lighting all the trees around the Pioneers Museum. And it's really just kind of a special, just one of those moments that families that may not have been able to think about grieving very well, or just want to have that, I want to remember my family member, my mom, or whatever. It's that special time. We also have a red, white, and blue tree that lit up in red, white, and blue lights in honor of people who have served for our country, first responders, people like that. And that is happening on Veterans Day this year.
Yes,
There's
it's
actual,
perfect.
it's kind of that perfect.
Yes.
I'll be there. I'm looking forward to being there.
Glad you could be there.
Yes, yeah. Same question that Lisa asked them, Chad. What's a challenge that you've had this year in creating business, and how have you overcome it?
Yeah, well, I think that one of the biggest challenges have been that, you know, what I do is different. It's multitudes different than some of the things that are available, and so really trying to explain to people the value and what it can do for them and how it can. I mean, it's like, hey, this will completely, utterly change your life, right? It's like, kind of sounds a little snake one, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, but you know, realistically, like, people have shown up to me with whatever it is that they have going on, physical or mental issue, and I've been able to help reduce or completely eliminate that. You know, I have a client that after one session was able to stop taking all 4 meds for bipolar and has had a massive transformation in her life, and the direction is so much more motivated for, you know, the entrepreneurship piece of her life. You know, I have some people that come in with like traumatic brain injuries, and after just one session, the tremors were gone. The second session, speech impediment and photographic memory started coming back. So, you know, I think that overcoming that is really just, for me, it's been a personal journey of just really stepping in and saying, I'm so incredibly confident in what I offer that I don't really care what you think.
Yeah, and that's really good. Let's be incredibly transparent with everyone for a minute, okay? Because you and I've gone out to his modality, and et cetera, and being a minister, being a conservative pastor in my place over 30 some odd years, it's very difficult for me to get past that mind block that I have with what you do and what I believe.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
It creates some disparity there. I mean, some difficulty for me, right?
Yeah.
And we're just being totally honest about that. Are there other Franks running out there that create that are keeping your business from moving forward in a really healthy way? Or
yeah, well, it is all like we work in the realm of belief changes. So we're not talking religious beliefs. We're talking about the things you believe about yourself, the things that you believe about your experiences. And so what's beautiful is that if somebody decides that that's what they want to do, we can actually go in there, run a debugging software on the subconscious mind, identify, here's the limiting belief that's creating these limiting patterns of behavior. And we can change it, and it instantly shifts the whole system. So, as far as like my background, I was born and raised Lutheran, right? And, I spoke to you earlier, like I speak through the lens of frequency, because that's a language that everybody can understand, whether you're Hindu or Buddhist or Christian. And so what I do is I meet people where they're at with their religious beliefs. I'm not going to tell you what to believe. All I'm going to do is I'm going to help you to continue to uncover your most authentic, genuine version. The one that you came into this life with, the blueprint that God designed and created for you before society and all this other thing started to add the different things on, right? Yeah. And that's ultimately why their bodies don't heal. It's because, they're holding on to something. I had this woman that's like, I've had this pain for 6 years, and so I said, well, so what has this been stopping you from doing? She's like, well, I can't mow, I can't take the trash out, I can't clean the house. And I was like, interesting. It's like, do you like mowing? No. Do you like taking out the trash? No. So perhaps are you holding on to this so that you don't have to do these things anymore? And
that was a fun conversation.
It was. But I'm willing to have those difficult conversations with people and keep them accountable. Because that's ultimately when we look at ourselves. Like this work is so incredibly important because of where our planet is right now, where it's going. And if we can have just one more person walking down the street who is kind, loving, compassionate, and can understand and like actually really truly look at something from another person's perspective, how much better is the world going to be? And then it creates this ripple effect. So Frank,
that may be my block, because what you just described is who I am already, right? So, really, I think about it. Yeah, because that's really how I try to live life, right? So
for me, a big thing that came in is like, what's your why, right? What's your purpose? And I had kind of had this people pleasing for external validation thing happening, and so my why was in order to accommodate that. And so on the other side of shifting that, I'm like, well, I don't have the motivation to go and do this. So I went out in nature for like 2 hours, and I just really sat with God. I'm like, show me what I need to see here. And so I realized that what had happened is that my why was so big, and so many people had told me that's not possible, that I had given up on it. My why is that I am here to change the world and assist in the evolution of human consciousness through the creation, use, and dissemination of simplistic tools that help to create a more positivity in the human condition.
Right on. That's awesome. What a great why. And don't ever let anyone talk you out of that.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm embodying it.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, with you embodying that, we have a final thing that we ask you guys to do before we close. We want you to, first of all, tell our audience something positive and hopeful from your heart, and then give them a way to reach you in your business.
So a lot of times we can't change our situation. We can change our perception or perspective of that situation. Our beliefs create our reality, and through that lens, we can essentially adjust how things feel and look to us. Misery is a choice. Every single time you wake up in the morning and you have a choice, you can be happy, you can be miserable. And what our tools do is they help to make that happiness easy to find and achieve every single morning when you wake up. it is never as bad as it seems. You know, as far as like the thing that propelled me into this work and, you know, talking about like suicide awareness, you know, a permanent solution for a temporary problem, it doesn't really make sense. There are people to talk to. There are tools, there are ways out. And so, yeah, we have a website. It's pretty cool. www.biocentric.com. That's BIOCENTRIK.com.
Right on. Thank you, Chad.
Absolutely. Thank
We're
you.
so glad that you last minute would come on and, and be with us. So appreciate you. Andrew, you're tasked with the same thing. Give our audience something encouraging and then give them some contact information.
It's interesting to hear you kind of share about some things are real choices that we make, you know, and I will say that when my dad was in hospice, as difficult as all that was, after he passed, and we had a memorial for him, one of the caregivers that was in the facility that he was in came to his memorial. That's not necessarily something that those that are in the profession do. And she came up and said, he was always so nice to me. Even though he was in that space of where, yes, he was dying.
Yeah.
He made an impression on her in his scenario. And so consequently with hospice, I would say that that's what our caregivers do from Pikes Peak Hospice, is to be able to serve those that are in that very difficult situation and the family members that they're in. And the stories I hear are absolutely incredible. So I could go on, but we'd have to break out the Kleenex.
Right. And how can they reach you at Pikes Peak Hospice?
They can email me at apeterson, that's PEPERSEN, at pikespeakhospice.org, or they can call my direct line, 719-457-8103.
Thank you. And we're so glad to have you here today. You bet. Indeed. All righty, you guys, whichever.
All right.
Do the same thing.
So I'm going to turn a little bit. For me, growing up, Christmas was always a really magical time. Up until I had a suicide in our family that I didn't know about that affected my parents and just torpedoed the whole thing. And so this bag here that we make Heartwarmer, which is a mulled cranberry lemon wine, it literally smells and tastes like Christmas in a cup. And so when I pour it and I smell it, it brings me back to those times, if that makes sense, and then encourages me and gives me hope to give that to my kids and to others. So
Heartwarmer.
Yeah, and actually the guy who is the Denver Santa named it for us.
No.
So it's very fitting.
That's so special. Indeed. Yeah. Melanie, you have anything?
Oh yeah, So go to evergoodadventurewines.com. You can Google Heartwarmer, Skier P, any of our fine wines.
Skier P.
Winery tour coupons.
Yep.
We have those on the weekends.
Yes. Yeah. Skier P was the first wine.
It was.
Yeah, I remember.
By my
I never drank P before. Let me
I
drink
know. It's very Colorado.
I know. Thank you all for being with us today and taking your valuable time to spend this time with Lisa and I. Right? Yeah. So before we wrap up, let's spotlight our sponsors once more. Crescio and our dear friend Joshua Aguirre, who is sitting here fresh from Argentina with a mask on to make sure we don't get jacked up. But he is passionate about uplifting the southeast sector of the Springs, and when you partner with his company, you will learn how to automate your sales funnel using tools like ChatGPT. Visit Crescio.com to learn more. Also, our dear friend Karen Butcher with Westco Insurance. Reach out to her at westcoinsurance.com. Karen is my insurance agent.
She's mine too.
And she offers very, very Great service, 23 years in service. Some of her original clients are still with her. That's a great Karen Butcher with Westco Insurance. And Lisa, our mission is what?
To help and encourage and extend hope to others. We help people realize their potential through networking, collaboration, and community involvement. Help us further our mission to help others. You can visit our website at beencouraged.net to become a sponsor and get your business name out there to our now growing audience of 40,000 and growing a week. And please like us and follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as YouTube. We're now live on YouTube as well. So
yes, we are. Isn't that exciting? Yes. We are trying to enlist people in the Encouraged Nation, because just because our world is upside down doesn't mean you have to participate. We need more people engaged in the goodness of where humanity can go. That's and right. What we can become and what we can do together. That's why our show exists. Thank you for being with us on Motivation Monday, the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa, bringing incredible humans to you to give you the opportunity to be encouraged and hopeful on your Monday, and hopefully it'll bleed over to the rest of the week.
Yes, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next Monday, right? Yes. Have a great week. Bam. There we go.